Hi everyone, welcome back to Charlotte's Book Nook. In today's video, I'll be doing a 25 books I want to read in 2025 video. I'm so excited to be filming videos for you guys for another year. I think I actually started my channel December of 2023, so we've kind of just hit a year and I'm super excited to continue making videos, and I thought I would kick off the year with this video. These are all books that I want to read that I'm not like in the middle of series or in the middle of. These are like books that I have not read a page of the series, of the actual book, anything, and I'm super excited to go through all these and hopefully read them for you guys in a reading vlog soon. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started and cue the intro. Okay, so basically I have my iPad next to me. I'll put the books up on the screen because I don't own a lot of them because they're ones that I want to read, but I do own a few of them and I'll hold those up for that portion of the video. But that's basically it, so let's go ahead and get started with the list. Okay, so this is in no particular order, by the way, but the first book that I had written on my list is The Unwanteds by Lisa McMann. Some friends of mine really love this series. I purchased the first one a while ago and completely forgot about it, and I'm super excited to read this one this year. It says The Hunger Games meets Harry Potter on the front, and like, who doesn't love Hunger Games and Harry Potter, right? So I think this will be super fun, and I love a good middle grade fantasy. Also, it's a big looking book, but it's pretty big text and it's definitely double spaced, so I think I'll fly through this and hopefully enjoy it. So yeah, that is the first book that is on the list. Okay, so the next book is Ranger's Apprentice. My brother actually got the first 3 books in the series for Christmas, so I'm borrowing this one to kind of use for the video. As you can see, he's got a bookmark. He must have started it. I'm definitely going to need to see what he's thinking of it so far, but yeah, I really want to read this one. My friend Arlen loves the series. It's literally the name of her channel, which makes me super excited about reading this, and I really hope I enjoy it. Again, it's another middle grade fantasy series, and yeah, that's basically Ranger's Apprentice. The next book on my list is one that I don't own and nobody else actually owns, and that is going to be the new Hunger Games book. I'm super excited for this. Honestly, I love the Hunger Games. I feel like a lot of dystopians are just copied, like a copy of the Hunger Games. Cough, cough, powerless. But basically, I'm excited for this little novella. It's kind of crazy that there's going to be another book. Please, Suzanne Collins, do not ruin the series with literally anything. There's so many ways you could ruin it. So that's the pressure I'm putting on you, and I'm super excited to read this one. It follows Haymitch, and I hope it'll be interesting. And yeah, that one is on my list. Okay, next we have the Wingfeather Saga, and honestly, I could talk about this one for a while because I started to read this and I really disliked it, but some of my friends, this is like their favorite series ever. They have the merch, they've watched the show, they like adore it, and that makes me want to give it another try, and I'm hopefully going to be filming a video where I read Christian books, like one of each genre that are like Christian books, and I can easily get that one in for fantasy, and it'd be such a good excuse for me to try and reread it because like I said, they love it, and I know so many other people, especially online, that love the series, and I feel like I need to love it, or I at least need to read the whole book. So I'm going to try to do that sometime this year so I can kind of form my own opinion of it. So yeah, I'm definitely excited and a little intimidated about reading that one. Okay, then we have The Naturals. Okay, so honestly, I've wanted to read this for a while, but it wasn't like a huge desire. And then my online bestie, Reese, tried to get me to read this like so many times. And honestly, I want to read it so bad. Like, I'm sure she's watching this. I still want to read it. It's on the video. And I'm hopefully going to get this series sometime soon and read the first book, see what I think, because it looks so interesting. The whole, like, everything about it looks like something that I would love, or a little, like, kind of genre I'd like to get into. So I really hope I have the time to read this year. Okay, next is another middle grade fantasy series, and this is the Madoran Chronicles. Guys, these are so hard to read. I have like 4 library cards, none of them have the Madoran Chronicles, and so I'm gonna try my best to find these. Honestly, this is going to be a hard one to find because I guess it's just not very popular, but it's crazy that my libraries don't have it, so I might have to buy the first book, but I've heard these are amazing and they deserve way more hype than they get, and they do look very interesting, so I'm hoping that I can get my hands on one of these books in the series this year. Okay, next we have the Timeless series. Now, don't confuse this with my favorite show. It's called Timeless. I talk about it all the time, but this is a completely separate series, no relation at all. This one is a historical fiction series, and I don't know how I found this. Honestly, it was probably on Goodreads. One of my friends from YouTube, like one of my Goodreads friends that watches me on YouTube, that followed me on Goodreads, probably posted about this, and that's how I know about it. But it's a historical fiction series, and it immediately, like, I got so interested just even looking at the cover, and then when I read the description, I was like, okay, this is like the perfect book for me. This one is definitely towards the top of books I want to read this year, and I'm hoping that I'll be able to start this. My library does have these so I'll probably put a hold on one of those soon. I'm super excited to read the first book in the Timeless series. Okay, so the next book that I would like to read in 2025 is Six of Crows. I do actually own this, but I spent like an hour trying to get my phone propped up, and it's finally propped up on that particular book, which was a mistake. I don't know why I did that. I knew I was filming this video, but it's in front of me. It's just propping up my tripod. So I have heard so many mixed reviews about this book, but I saw a review a few weeks ago of somebody who was like completely obsessed, and it made me just go, okay, the time has come in 2025 to read this book and form my own opinion, so I will definitely be doing that. This one is also probably towards the top of my list. I found this one at my thrift store for like $1, which is crazy. They never have like book talk books, so I'm super excited to read that one, and I'll let you guys know what I think. Okay, the next book that I want to read is Twin Crowns. I've seen YouTubers talk about this. It started to become popular and then it kind of died down, but it looked interesting, the cover was cool, and I was like, you know what, you can never go wrong with a clean YA fantasy, so I'm excited to try to read this one this year, and yeah. So a book that I really want to read is anything by the author Jane Austen. Honestly, her books are becoming so popular on Book Talk. They're classics, they're like classic romances, I think. I'm not exactly sure, but I have a giant book that I got for like $7 that had like 5 of her books in it, so I definitely want to read one of those this year and see what I think. These are really popular, there's some movies, and I definitely want to read more classics this year, so that one is definitely on the list. Okay, following the trend of reading any book by an author, I want to read a Catherine Center book. Another shout out to Reese. She loves her books. She's one of her favorite authors that she discovered last year, and I definitely want to read one of her books. We'll probably do a video reading each other's favorite books, and I'll definitely need to read a Catherine Center book. Okay, next is a book that I actually do own, is The Maze Runner. I think this is a dystopian or fantasy YA book that never really got popular in Book Talk, but was popular in like the book world. So I got this at the thrift store. It's slightly damaged, but I was like, you know what if I hate it? And this is actually my cousin's favorite book series, so I'm definitely looking forward to trying it out and see what I mentioned at the beginning of this video that these are all books that I want to read that aren't part of a series, but apparently I lied, and one of the books on here is actually the second book in the Caraval trilogy, so I guess I lied and I'm changing what I'm saying now. But this is like really important for me because I read the first one and I've been wanting to read the second one for a while. I just haven't found the time, so I'm hoping to find the time this year to read the second one and see what I think. I wasn't the hugest fan of the first one, but I did really enjoy it and I really liked the atmosphere, so I think if I need something atmospheric, I would definitely enjoy the second one, so that's why I decided to put it on my list. Okay, so next is Five Survive. This is by the author who wrote A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, which I really enjoyed. This one seems to be a little different. It follows a group of friends. It doesn't look as like violent or like have some deep subject matters. And this one is currently on sale at my bookstore for like $5, and I want to buy it so bad, but I'm kind of just trying to decide. So I put it on this list to see if like maybe it would make me like decide on my decision, but I do want to read that one this year. It looks really interesting, and this was another book that was recommended by Reese, so I feel like I could do that for our video as well. And yeah, that's basically Five Survive. Okay, the next book is definitely on my summer TBR, and that is Sunkissed. I read a book by this author last year. I really enjoyed it. I tried to read a few more, but they got really boring, but they are clean, so that always makes me happy, and I'm super excited to read this book this year. It definitely looks a very summery story, and this one will probably be one that I purchased because it has a really cute cover, so I'll make sure to let you guys know what I think of that one when it's summertime. Okay, so now we have Divergent. I actually do own this book, but I'm too lazy to go get it because it's probably up somewhere. Yeah, I don't even know where it is, but I do want to read this book this year. I bought this a while ago at my thrift store. Actually, it was a used bookstore because it was really affordable, and I do really want to read this. I bought it during my dystopian stage, but got out of my dystopian stage before I had a chance to read it. But my friend has read the series. She enjoyed it, and I'll definitely read it and let you guys know what I think. Okay, the next book is Lovely War. This one is kind of a mix of historical fiction and Percy Jackson because it follows Greek mythology and American history, I think, and they like combine and there's something going on, and it looks really interesting. This one was very popular at Book Talk, but I feel like if a historical fiction book is popular, it's better than if a fantasy book is popular, because I feel like when fantasy books get popular, it's because of the romance, but historical fiction books get popular, it's because of the good writing and the storyline. So I'm kind of trusting Book Talk on this one. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Comment down below what you think, but I do hope to get the chance to read this book this year. Okay, following up with another historical fiction book is the Book of Lost Names. This one is by a Christian author, and I'm super excited to read it this year. It looks really interesting, another historical fiction, which is a genre that I absolutely love. So yeah, that one is definitely on my list for the year. Okay, another book that I want to read, just like any book by this author, is Sharon Cameron. She wrote my favorite book ever, Bluebird. I can't even think about it. It's so good. I love that book. And I definitely want to read another book by her this year. This next book is a Christian historical fiction, and it is called A Midnight's Dance. This one follows a ballerina, and as soon as I saw Christian and ballerina, I added it to my TBR because those are two things that I am, and I'm super excited to read that book this year. It looks really interesting, and the cover is so pretty. Alright, so now I'm going to follow up with a few classics. A Little Princess in 1984. I'm super excited to read those this year. I've started Little Princess in the past, but it got really sad, so I stopped. But I'm gonna save it for when I need that kind of sad book and read it, so I'm definitely looking forward to those two. Of course, another recommendation from Reese, and that is The House Across the Lake. I think that's what it's called. That's what it says. That didn't sound right when I said it. This one is like a thriller looking book, and Haley Pham loved it, and I didn't know if it was clean, but Reese recommended it to me, so I really hope I get the chance to read that because I don't read thrillers very often. So I'm gonna go ahead and close off this video with the last few books on my list, which are two historical fictions. These books are both really big, but The Fountains of Silence and Until Leaves Fall in Paris. This one is actually huge, but I'm hoping I enjoy it because I got it through my summer reading program, which is where I got Bluebird. So even though this intimidated me, I immediately picked it up because I said, you knew what you were doing with Bluebird. I hope you know what you're doing with The Fountains of Silence. But Reese does like this author. She has read a few books by her, so I'm hoping that I enjoy this one. And this one, again, is about a ballerina who buys a bookstore in World War II. I'm sorry, but is that not the perfect book? I'm really hoping I enjoy this. I have a friend on Goodreads who's reading it right now and likes it and says the romance is good. And honestly, I did not even know there was romance in here, but it is a Christian book, so I think all those genres together are going to make such a perfect book. So I'm super excited to keep you guys updated on these two. These are definitely at the very, very top of my list for the year, and I'll probably honestly start this one in the next few weeks. So that is basically all the books that I want to read in 2025, or at least the top of my list, the top 25. So that concludes today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know if I should make more TBR videos, and basically make sure to comment, like, subscribe, and share, and I'll go ahead and cue the outro. Bye guys!